Buckets is a first-person virtual reality full basketball simulation game. The idea was to bring a traditional type of basketball game with full locomotion and artificial intelligence and put it in the VR space. For as long as I can remember, I've wanted a game like this, and it simply didn't exist. So about 13 months ago, I started development. We'll start by loading up Rucker Park here. If you don't know, Rucker Park is arguably the most iconic street court in all of the world. So I was really excited to include it in this game. It's very much a work in progress, but you can see we have our 4 teammates on the left and the 5 opposing teammates on the right. I'll start demonstrating some of the mechanics, which for me was the part of the game that required the most innovation. Currently there are no standard methods for handling things like dribbling and passing in virtual reality basketball games. So in order to make it an organic experience for the user, I made a multi-threaded system that's capable of recognizing every frame what the user's intentions are for the basketball, should they have possession of it. So if you're performing a dribbling motion or a shooting motion or a passing motion, it realizes that, and it happens just like it would in the real world without any additional input from you. You can see we'll dunk on our defender there, but you can see a pass there to a player on the block. That passing was a very important part of the game's development for me. I feel like it's a critical part of basketball. So the system that I've developed, I'm calling for the time being snap to passing. The idea is you just pass in the general direction or with some degree of accuracy towards one of your teammates, and the system helps you complete that pass. So play calling in basketball, even on the pickup level, is a really important component to the game, especially the screen. So we'll look over here at our teammate and we'll call a screen, and he realizes that we're asking for him to set that screen. But we'll deny it and set another play for one of his teammates to cut to the basket, as you can see happen there. So admittedly, the hardest part of developing this game, at least for me, was artificial intelligence. With a sports game, there's just so many eventualities and possibilities and dynamics to the game. It's really been tough. About 6 months of the game's 13-month development have been spent solely on artificial intelligence, and it probably needs a few more before the game is ready for early access release. But I really wanted it to be a convincing system. I didn't want something that just barely squeaked by as playable. I feel like that would just be a small little novelty of a video game, and that's not what I wanted. So I generated a system here with an extensive set of logical abilities for the AI, and I've implemented behavioral feedback loops and attribute feedback loops, and they're able to recognize when the decisions that they've made have been successful, and they'll continue to make the same kinds of decisions. For example, they know when to take open jump shots. They can see when they have an open lane to the basket. They know when to pass to their teammates. They know when to call for the ball if they're open. They can throw alley-oops to each other. So far it's quite immersive, and I look to keep developing it and making it better, even after the game has been released. So you can see here's an alley-oop tossed by one of the AI characters. But I'll show some actual gameplay before I'm done. This is a third-person camera of me in the game. The red capsule there is the player's head. I felt that would be a fun addition for guests of the user to watch them play in real time, and also for mixed reality shoots. But you can see I'll have to play defense here against the other team's point guard, and this was a really important part of the game, I felt. You have to be able to stop the other team, and it has to be in a smart way. So I've enabled blocking, stealing, and then obviously shutting off the lane to the basket. But we'll bring the ball up the court here. And as you can see, the dribbling works through regular locomotion. It's not affected by that. Pull up for a jump shot, and then, as expected, the other team gets the ball and bring it up the court, and we'll shut the lane off to the basket again, But he's been really successful. He's had a lot of success, that guy. So he's probably not going to pass the ball at this point in the game. But we'll bring the ball up the court, and you can see my teammate called for an alley-oop there, but I did not make the decision to pass it to him. Instead, I just shoot almost a half-court shot. One of the most entertaining parts of a game like this for me is your ability to just do things like that. If you want to take half-court shots, you can, and nobody's going to get mad at you. You can see their point guard just took a contested shot. He was on fire, and he even got triple teamed, and he decided to take the shot nonetheless. So that was an example of some of the AI in action there. But that's all the video I have at the moment. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and stay tuned to look for early access in about 6 months.